Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to another episode of Baking with Chef Raphael. Today I'm going to show you how to make an eggless chocolate and vanilla cake. Now it's a very delicious cake. It has a nice crumble to it and you will not even imagine that it doesn't have eggs. Wait till you try it. Let's get started. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so that you're notified whenever I have a new recipe out. And for today's ingredients, we have milk, we have granulated sugar, we have white vinegar, vanilla essence, cocoa powder, all-purpose flour, and some margarine. We'll start with the margarine. We need 150 grams. If you're using butter, make sure it's at room temperature. So you may not have icing sugar at home, but this is a tip of how you can make your own icing sugar. So just measure your sugar as normal and then put it in a blender. And turn it on, and basically we'll make it into a powder. What we have here, powdered sugar, which is literally icing sugar. So if you already have icing sugar, you can use it. So first thing is to beat the sugar and the margarine. So you just need to beat it until it's fully mixed, it's soft. And then at this stage, I will start adding the milk. Now for the milk, it gets a little bit tricky and you'll see what I mean. Is that when you're adding the milk, add it a little at a time and then start mixing. The fat, the butter or the margarine is too dense and the milk is too light. They don't easily mix. And when you add it, the whole milk at once, what will happen is that as you're mixing, the milk will literally be all over you, all over the surface, even on yourself. So just add a little at a time like that, until it's fully mixed and you have finished all the milk. So as you can see now, what has happened with the fat, with the margarine, is that it's full of liquid, but it's very hard for them to come together. But looks like scrambled egg. Now that's good. At this stage I'll add the vanilla essence and mix. And finally, I'll add the vinegar. This is 3 tablespoons. So it's a good idea to use either white vinegar, which is flavorless. If you use red wine vinegar, it might give your cake some different flavor than what you'd want. So it's good to use a plain white vinegar. So that's our mixture. So now we are adding the final ingredient, is the flour. It's a good idea to sift the flour, especially for this recipe. And the idea is to reduce the amount of lumps. And by the way, I'm using self-raising flour, so don't forget. And in case you don't have self-raising flour, you're using normal flour. It's the same 150 grams of flour, but you'll add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And that's it. And now, since you're making a marble cake, and that's why you have the cocoa, this is about 2 tablespoons of cocoa, but you can also add about 1. For this, I'll add a small mixture, of the cake batter, then mix it through. So there you have a chocolate flavored eggless cake. I'll add a little bit more of the cocoa powder because I want it slightly richer than this. So total amount of cocoa powder, I've used about 1.5 tablespoons. So there you have it. Now we're going to place into our baking tin, and all I've just done is applied a little bit of oil or even margarine on the bottom and then placed the paper on top to stick. And then now I'll add the white one on the other edges. I'll put them in 2 spots in between the spaces I've left. So the cake is done, and as you can see, it's fully baked. And the thing about an eggless cake, it tends to be fragile or delicate. It can easily collapse because remember, it doesn't have any egg, and the egg, there's a purpose for the egg in a cake. And you can see there's the vanilla and the chocolate part, and what I did is just cut into two, and then it's a cake that is also delicious. You can taste the acidity from the vinegar, and I hope you've learned something today. This has been an eggless cake recipe. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to be notified whenever I have a new recipe out, and until next time, goodbye.